Hello, welcome to the first day of Lembck's journey, which is going to be a sort of journal for myself, video style, I guess you could call it a vlog. And yes, I'm not going to try to make this awkward. It's kind of like talking to a close friend or myself, hopefully. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be a daily journal, and I'm going to go about my day each day, um, and I'm going to base it around um, professional, academic, and personal goals that I have. Today is going to be a little different because I'm going to give you some context on me. If you don't know me, my name is Michael Lembck, hence Lembck's Journey. That's my nickname in high school. And I'm a student right now. I'm 19 years old, and I'm currently in San Francisco. I go to Northeastern University, but they have a cool program that lets me be out here and study entrepreneurship, along with one CS class, which I just had today. We'll get into that. Yeah, so since I was a kid, I was always into building stuff. It started with like Legos from before I could even remember, and then it kind of switched to more electronic stuff through Lego Robotics, like the Vex Robotics, and either EV3, Mindstorm. So those are all stuff I played with at like summer camps. I went to ID Tech coding camps, and yeah, so my building knack really switched to more digital stuff, and I wasn't limited to physical bricks anymore. I didn't have to plead my parents to buy me new ones. Every time I wanted to build something, I could just go out and do it. With that, like I started playing Minecraft a lot, and I got interested in trying to make mods for it. And just recently, at the start of my college career, I was introduced to the huge entrepreneurship ecosystem at Northeastern, and my spirit for building really has been has switched to startups in a way. I mean, I'm still really interested in coding. That's my major is computer science, so that hasn't left me. But I have a new avenue for it, and I kind of always knew that computer science is kind of a means to the end, and it's not the end. And I think I'm learning a lot of skills to create a startup, and I think that's the end goal is the value that you create through that. So, okay, yeah. Intro aside, let's get into my day. So I got up. Well, my day started at 7:13, which is I downloaded an app last night to wake me up with a Spotify song because I thought I am done with these like default alarms, and I wanted to wake up to Back in Black by AC/DC. So I woke up to that, and it started really quiet, and eventually it got louder. But that was too early for me, so I snoozed it. And actually, it's not even snooze. I just turned it off until I woke up at around 9:30 ish. Actually, I guess my day started a little earlier because I had to pee in the middle of the night, and I looked at the clock and it was like almost 5 a.m. So yeah, I got up at 9:30 ish eventually, and made my oats. I boil water. It takes about 2-3 minutes, and then pour it into half to a full cup of oats. Let that sit for a little, and then I pour in a scoop of Combat chocolate protein powder, which is probably the most processed thing you could imagine, but it has 5 different types of proteins from eggs and whey, and anyway, it tastes good and supposedly healthy, has a lot of protein. That's been my breakfast for a while now, since I don't know, September-ish. It's now February 24th of 2022. I didn't say that earlier. So yeah, I had breakfast. I rushed to a meeting at 10:30. I met up with my team for two of my classes, and working on a cool startup, which is the class is actually to create a startup, and um, we called a public defender because that's our target customer, and he picked up. He couldn't talk at the moment, but we rescheduled a call for later in the day. Um, but yeah, then got some more work done for the class, and around 12:30, I headed back to the hotel I'm staying in. It's about a 7-minute walk from campus, which is a WeWork. We have the top 2 floors of a WeWork for campus and all of our classes. But I came back, made some lunch. I had some chicken breasts. I hadn't been marinating, so I cut them really thin too. So it was like 4 pieces, but probably about one chicken breast, maybe actually a little more, maybe 1.5. Um, and then with that, I had leftover pasta from last night, and I also had some of the vegetable medley I have frozen in the fridge. Um, just 3 minutes in the microwave to mix it in between. It's broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, and it tastes good. Add some lemon pepper seasoning, and there you go. So those 3 things, I had meat, starch, and vegetables. I felt pretty proud of myself for that lunch. Then I rushed back to class, impact investing class, which I'm not technically enrolled in, but this program is super cool because I can sit in on classes. I guess auditing might be a good word, although it's not that formal. And it's an impact investing class, and I really enjoyed it. Um, as much as I have every single session. Last week's was the midterm, so this one was kind of more uh, low laid back. The class is great. It starts with meditation. Um, yeah, and then after that class, I came back to the hotel, realized I had to call Chuck back. He's the public defender, and had a 30-minute conversation with him, even though I only asked for 10. And he was really kind to give me the time, even though he still had a bunch on his plate. But I basically learned that the problem that we were targeting, which is interjurisdiction, across different counties, not knowing stuff about your client if they get arrested or if a warrant goes out. We learned that for him, at least, that wasn't too big of a problem because of his client base. They don't travel a lot. So most of them stay within a 10-block radius of where they live, which is something that hadn't come up in previous conversations, and definitely really interesting. He went into a lot of other problems, specifically that his, like, I forget his actual word, but like brief something, basically a collection of all of his documents. There's not a good search algorithm or search engine for that. So I actually asked him if I could come to his office to see it in action, live, because he's only in Oakland, which is not too far train ride especially with the BART system here. And he said, yeah, why not? So I'm gonna do that hopefully soon. It's kind of a play by ear basis, but then after that I made dinner. I took out probably another chicken breast worth of meat, and another bowl of the vegetables. I had no pasta left, but pretty much the same routine as lunch without the pasta, and it tasted good. And then I rushed to my next class, which started at 6 p.m. If I didn't say before, my classes are all 3 hours. It's different than typical college classes, but I think I really like the 3-hour format. Meets once a week, and I think it's a great way to get value out of the class and to really, get into the mindset. You don't have to do a lot of shifts, I guess you would have if you had 2 or 3 classes a week. We do get a break, about 5 to 15 minutes, depending on the professor, in between. So that was my computer systems class. It's actually a graduate course, so I think I'm the only undergrad because this is a pretty graduate heavy campus. Um, but we went over a lot of interesting stuff um, about schedulers, and then switched to, oh, I should remember, I just had it, virtual memory. So yeah, how to like translate between processes memory and then their physical memory, and really really cool stuff. I kind of thinking in my head about that, it's kind of like this is so tedious, but it's interesting how all these solutions arise from problems that people were solving, and then they had really ingenious ways to solve it. So like I'm looking at it from an outsider perspective. I don't really know. I think it's all like too complex, but like I got to keep in mind this is like the most optimal way to do it. Um, yeah. Then after class, I came back, made a very dismal attempt at a flirt, I guess. Flirting didn't go too well, but it didn't go bad. So it's a very short FaceTime call. I used that for fuel to go to the gym to work out. Wasn't a long workout, but it was my first one in a while, so I was happy about it. Did some bicep curls, some chest press with dumbbells, and something I don't even know what the name is, but it's kind of like the motion of chopping wood, but sideways. And then did that in like a circuit of 3, and then did some like shoulder exercises, and then I was pumped to do my running. I did a 6 kilometer run after that. Started around 10 p.m. and yeah, I just got back from that, and now I'm here doing this doing this Lembck's journey, first episode. And so yeah, that's a breakdown of my day. Now, I told you I'd frame it in these goals I have. I realized I didn't go over those goals yet, and hopefully in future episodes it's more thought out that way. But you got to start somewhere. So academic goals that I have. One, I want to make the most of my classes. I understand they're not cheap, especially at the university I'm at, and they're also really valuable. So I really want to get the most out of them, whether that be from the content or connecting with professors and my classmates. So that's another goal of mine, is to really connect. A third goal would be to maintain an acceptable GPA. My first few semesters, this is my 4th one, my first 3, I really put a big emphasis on that. So I'm in a good position to kind of not step on the gas pedal, and in that respect too much this semester. It could take a hit, and I'll be fine with that as long as I'm prioritizing other stuff I care about. So that's my academic goals. Professional goals, I'm constantly working on building my own network and making sure that I'm creating value for everybody in it. It's definitely difficult, and but it's fun to navigate something new like that, and to stay social, especially with incredibly smart people that I'm lucky enough to be exposed to. Second goal of mine is to look for a co-op. Northeastern has this awesome program where twice in my college career, I'm going to be taking a 6-month break for basically 1 semester, where I don't take classes and instead work full time. And they have a whole system for that, and I think it's really cool to graduate with a full year of work experience in still 4 years. It takes a lot of summer work, but yeah, I really appreciate that I have that, and I'm looking forward to this. It could start as early as July, so I'm looking for that around now. I already see people post that they have them on LinkedIn, so I got to step up my game. My third goal professionally is to gain skills to start a startup one day. That's something that I dream of. I really want to kind of create value for people, but also myself. And when you're working for a company, you are creating value along with the company's mission, but it's also going to whoever started the company, and you also have to report to a lot of people. Um, I don't know. I really love the maybe it's idealistic because I haven't worked in it yet, but I think I really would like the startup ecosystem. Fast paced, high growth, high risk. I'm young. That's when I can do that. And when I have more responsibilities, I can understand the appeal of a more safe corporate job. But I feel like I'm a kid now. I should go for it now. Now, onto the personal goals, which may be the most exciting. We'll start with my daily run. Uh, and then there's a little asterisk there because I'm not perfect, so I'll miss a few days. I don't try to. If I do miss a day, I make sure not to miss 2 days, and that I've stayed true by. Try to start at the beginning of the year. I had COVID, kind of use that as an excuse, but since about the fifth or something, I've done runs. Um, I had this idea to start at 2 kilometers and then increase by 0.1 kilometer every day. Today was 6 kilometers, so it was my 40th run of the year, kind of. I haven't stuck exactly to that. I think that's been a minimum, at least, is to have that zero point 0.1 increment. But sometimes I went for more. There's an 8 kilometer run there, and then I ran a half marathon, and then 10 kilometer run, and then like a half marathon and a plus a 5K, and then another half marathon. So these are all new things to me. My running was not always like this. I first started running my senior year of high school, I guess right before it, preseason, and I was pretty slow and pretty bad at it. It hurts my shins, and I was like, this is just terrible. I think my 5K at the start was 29 minutes, but then I was able to get it down just that semester to just under 24 minutes, which is a pretty great improvement. I was really proud of myself. And then I kind of lost it like over 2020, but then 2021 I picked it back up, and yeah, I was able to break my high school record. Got down maybe by like 8 seconds, but then last fall, so this is the fall of 2021, winter even, I really broke it. I was going 5K about 2 or 3 times a week, sometimes one, and I was going for speed. And so I hit 20:48 as my fastest, which is really fast. I haven't been able to hit that again, but now this semester I'm going for distance. So yeah, I did my first half marathon January 30th. I'm gonna hopefully put together a nice chart to display my running for distance this semester. And yeah, so that's my running goal. I want to start introducing um, an approach I learned from Tetrades, which is kind of like an ancient exercise technique where you have like 4 day circuits where they start like medium, high, low, and then like medium low or something. It's basically you're not always putting yourself at like a constant high level. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to keep the increasing, but tomorrow I might do 2 kilometers again and start it over, but have that be every other day, and then continue my original one on the other ones. So tomorrow will be 2, and the next day will be 6.1, and the next day will be 2.1, and then 6.2, 2.2, and so forth. And then maybe in 40 more days, when that 2 gets to a 6, I'll introduce a third. So then it could be like 10, 6, 2, 10.1, 6.1, 2.1. And maybe I'll go about it like that. So I kind of give my legs a break, because I have noticed it's happened 3 times, most recently today. My legs, especially my feet, will go numb, falling asleep. Which, I mean, I can still run through, but it's kind of like, am I damaging my feet? Like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe my shoes are too tight. Maybe I just need to stretch better. Maybe I need new shoes. I'm not really sure. But yeah, that's my running. Trying to eat healthy, as you can see by my meals today. Today was one of the good days. Last night, I had a full box of pasta, except a little bit that I had at lunch today. That wasn't the best. A couple of days ago, I had like 2 full things of like pita and like cookies. That was bad. I try not to buy any unhealthy stuff. Um, but yeah, I like eggs too. I haven't had them in a little while, but um, yeah, I'm because there's so much I don't know. Like about cholesterol. Although some people say like maybe 3 eggs a week, but some people have like dozen a day. So I really don't know. I was around like 4 to 5 eggs a day when I had them. I can just go buy more and I'll have more. But yes, I'm trying to eat healthy. Another goal of mine personally is to be social. So that can be as small as making small talk on an elevator, just casual conversation like the elevators are slow or the weather's warm. Could be as much as like keeping in touch with friends from high school or friends back in Boston, and just connecting with people throughout the day. That's one of my goals. Another one is to be clean. So I like to leave the sink empty when I go to bed. Have no clothes sitting on the floor, a clear desk. Um, I like to shower every day after my runs. I can't imagine going to bed without that. I brush my teeth twice a day. Yeah, I try to be clean also. And then working out. This is a goal that I've kind of set aside recently. I started it back up today, and hopefully this, along with the journals, will keep me up to it. I'm kind of using this as an accountability measure. And yeah, so this video was a little longer than I anticipated, but hopefully now that you know me, you know my goals, my context, each other day will now just be um, the day itself. So I look forward to where this goes, and yeah, see you tomorrow.